Welcome friends to this new series of learning virtual private cloud networking in Google Cloud Platform. In earlier series we discussed many things on compute engines and other parts. If you have missed them, you can go through them once. We will be providing the links in description. We will discuss various topics in GCP's networking offerings. In this very first video lecture, we will go through the theories, and then in subsequent lectures, we will go through the demos on various topics one by one and will go to the further deepest areas possible. Are you excited to have this experienced? I am sure you will be delighted to have this learning. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, please do it now. This will help you to watch when new videos will be available. Also, please hit the notification button so that you can get notified too. So, let's get started. We will discuss various topics in GCP's networking offerings. We will have some introduction to VPC. Then we will have a bit of knowledge on CIDR, and then we'll move our attention to firewall rules. We will learn what are subnets in VPC and different types of VPC networks. We will come across topics like shared VPC and VPC peering. Finally, we will shift our gear to hybrid cloud network. So let's begin our exciting journey. VPC stands for Virtual Private Cloud and is a private isolated virtual network partition that gives you managed networking functionality for your Google Cloud Platform resources. You can think of a VPC as a virtual version of your traditional physical network. It lets you set up private communication between your virtual machines in the cloud, including firewall rules and routing, so that you're protected from external and unwanted access and limit public exposure of your instances. A virtual private cloud or VPC network is a virtual version of a physical network, implemented inside of Google's production network, using Andromeda. VPC networks, along with their associated routes and firewall rules, are global resources. That means they are not associated with any distinct region or zone. VPC network provides the connectivity for your compute engine virtual machine instances, including Google Kubernetes Engine clusters, App Engine flexible environment instances, and other Google Cloud products built on compute engine VMs. Projects can contain multiple VPC networks. If you want to isolate your compute resources separated from each other, you can put them in different VPC so that they cannot communicate privately. On the other hand, for the completely opposite requirement, you can also have your resource to use more than one VPC network, if that compute resource works as a communication medium between two or more VPC. You have to attach two or more virtual NIC to your compute resource, in that case. Also, you can keep one project dedicated for a shared VPC and can secure other projects, so that they can communicate with each other securely and efficiently by using internal IP addresses from that network. We will discuss these various exciting things right here. Before going deep into different things on VPC, let's spend a few moments on CIDR. Classless interdomain routing is a method for allocating IP addresses for IP routing. The Internet Engineering Task Force introduced CIDR in 1993 to replace the previous classful network addressing architecture on the Internet. CIDR notation is a compact representation of an IP address and its associated network mask. The notation was invented by Phil Kern in the 1980s. IPv4 addresses are 32-bit numbers written as 4 octets separated by dots. Each octet can have values ranging from 0 to 255. Here you can see 10.0.2.0 is the IPv4 address. The prefix length is the number of bits that are fixed in the network portion of the IP address. A CIDR notation includes the IP address followed by a slash and the prefix length. In this example, 24 is the prefix length. Hence, the first 24 bits represent the network portion which will remain fixed. With the help of CIDR notation, we can specify a range of IP addresses. In this example shown in screen specifies 256 addresses or address range by specifying 10.0.2.0/24. As 24 is the prefix length here, the first 24 bytes, which is 10.0.2, will remain fixed, and hence 256 addresses will be between 10.0.2.0 to 10.0.2.255. CIDR allows for efficient subnetting, where larger address blocks can be divided into smaller subnets. CIDR enables aggregation of IP address ranges for more efficient routing. Instead of announcing multiple routes for individual subnets, an organization can aggregate them into a single route announcement. This reduces the size of routing tables and helps in more efficient use of routing resources. In summary, CIDR simplifies IP address allocation and routing by allowing for flexible subnetting and aggregation of address ranges. After you create a network, you can create firewall rules to allow or deny traffic between resources in the network, such as communication between VM instances. You also use firewall rules to control what traffic leaves or enters the VPC network to or from the Internet. Firewall rules apply to both outgoing or egress and incoming or ingress traffic in the network. They manage traffic even if it is entirely within the network, including communication among VM instances. Ingress rules control incoming traffic or data entering a network or a specific resource within the network. You can apply ingress rules to block unauthorized access from external sources, or to allow specific services or applications to accept incoming connections. Egress rules control outgoing traffic or data leaving a network or a specific device within the network. Egress rules can be useful to restrict access to certain external websites or services, or preventing the spread of malware by blocking specific types of outbound traffic. Virtual private cloud firewall rules apply to a given project and network. They allow users to control which packets are allowed to travel to which destinations. Every VPC network has two implied firewall rules that block all incoming connections and allow all outgoing connections. When you create VPC firewall rule, VPC network is specified along with a set of components that define what the rule does. The components enable you to target certain types of traffic based on the traffic's protocol, destination ports, sources, and destinations. Subnets are regional resources and have IP address ranges associated with them. Subnets should not have an overlapping IP address range. Make sure you select the subnet range carefully. When you provision a compute engine instance, you select the zone in which it must be provisioned. Selecting the zone implicitly selects its region, and the region you select for a resource determines the subnets it can use. So, in this example, when you provision to GC instances in Zone Asia South 2, it determines that its region is in Asia South 2, which is Delhi region, and it will provision it in the subnet 3 Delhi subnet GA, that is part of Delhi Regional Zone A. Similarly, when you provision instances in Iowa, they will be provisioned in the region US Central 1 and will be part of subnet 1 and subnet 2. A zone is a collection of data centers in a geographical location, and a region is a collection of multiple zones located miles apart. You deploy your workload in multiple zones and regions to attain high availability and fault tolerance. Google Cloud offers 3 types of VPC networks, and they are determined by their subnet creation mode. These are namely Default Mode VPC, Auto Mode VPC, and Custom Mode VPC. Default Mode VPC. Every project is provided with a default VPC network with preset subnets and firewall rules. Specifically, a subnet is allocated for each region with non-overlapping CIDR blocks and firewall rules that allow ingress traffic from ICMP, RDP, and SSH traffic from anywhere, as well as ingress traffic from within the default network for all protocols and ports. Auto Mode VPC. In this network, one subnet from each region is automatically created within it. The default network can be understood as an auto mode network. These automatically created subnets use a set of predefined IP ranges with a /20 mask that can be expanded to a /16. These subnets fit within the 10.1 to 8.0.0/9 CIDR block. So, as new GCP regions become available, new subnets are automatically created in those regions and added to auto mode networks using an IP range from that block. Custom Mode VPC. A custom mode network does not automatically create subnets. This type of network provides the user with complete control over its subnets and IP ranges. The users decide which subnets to create in regions they choose and use IP ranges they specify within the RFC 1918 address space. These IP ranges cannot overlap between subnets of the same network. For most of the cases across industries, we use custom mode VPC because most of the control can be taken over it and you can build a custom network that is more secure and restricted as per your business use case. Shared VPC allows an organization to connect resources from multiple projects to a common virtual private cloud network so that they can communicate with each other securely and efficiently by using internal IP addresses from that network. When you use shared VPC, you designate a project as a host project and attach one or more other service projects to it. The VPC networks in the host project are called shared VPC networks. Eligible resources from service projects can use subnets in the shared VPC network. Shared VPC lets organization administrators delegate administrative responsibilities, such as creating and managing instances, to service project admins while maintaining centralized control over network resources like subnets, routes, and firewalls. Create a shared services VPC if multiple VPC networks need access to common resources, but not each other. VPC network provides a full mesh of global reachability. For this reason, shared services and continuous integration pipelines residing in the same VPC network don't require special consideration when it comes to connectivity. They are inherently reachable. Shared VPC extends this concept, allowing shared services to reside in an isolated project while providing connectivity to other services or consumers. Another important feature is VPC peering. VPC peering in Google Cloud Platform is a networking feature that allows direct communication between virtual private cloud networks. VPC is a virtual network dedicated to a GCP project, and VPC peering enables these VPCs to connect with each other securely. VPC peering is useful in various situations. Interconnecting projects. VPC peering is useful when you have multiple projects in GCP, and you want them to communicate with each other over a private, secure network. It allows for direct communication between instances in different projects, as if they were on the same network. Microservices architecture. In a microservices architecture where different components of an application are deployed in separate VPCs, VPC peering facilitates communication between these components without the need to expose them to the public internet. Multi-tier applications. When you have a multi-tier application with different VPCs representing different tiers like web, application, and database tiers, VPC peering allows for seamless communication between these tiers while maintaining network segmentation. Data sharing. VPC peering enables the sharing of resources, such as databases or storage, between different VPCs without exposing them to the public internet. This enhances security by keeping the communication within the private network. In Google Cloud Platform, both Cloud VPN and Cloud Interconnect are networking solutions that facilitate secure and reliable communication between on-premises networks and GCP virtual networks, VPCs. These services are essential components for creating hybrid cloud environments and connecting your on-premises infrastructure with resources in a cloud. Choose Cloud VPN for secure and scalable connections over the Internet. Choose Cloud Interconnect for dedicated, high-performance, and low-latency connections. Cloud VPN typically has lower setup costs but may incur data transfer costs over the Internet. Cloud Interconnect involves additional costs for dedicated connections but may offer cost savings for high bandwidth and consistent data transfer needs. In summary, Cloud VPN and Cloud Interconnect serve different connectivity needs in GCP, and the choice between them depends on factors such as security, performance, and cost considerations. Cloud VPN is a service that establishes encrypted connections, IPsec VPN, between your on-premises network and a GCP VPC. Some use cases of Cloud VPN are like connecting on-premises data centers to GCP VPCs securely, establishing secure connections for remote office locations, or facilitating secure communication between multiple VPCs in different GCP regions. Cloud VPN uses industry-standard IPsec protocols to secure communication over the Internet. Cloud VPN can be used to create multiple VPN tunnels to provide redundancy and load balancing. It supports failover between tunnels for improved reliability. It allows for dynamic routing protocols like BGP to enable automatic route updates. It provides a secure and encrypted connection between on-premises and GCP VPCs. It allows for flexible and scalable configurations to meet different connectivity requirements. This is suitable for scenarios where a reliable and encrypted connection over the public Internet is sufficient. Cloud Interconnect provides dedicated, low-latency connections between your on-premises network and GCP, bypassing the public Internet. Some use cases of Cloud Interconnect are like connecting data centers to GCP with dedicated, high-bandwidth connections. It facilitates hybrid cloud solutions with low-latency communication. It supports large data transfers and workloads that require consistent network performance. It provides dedicated, private connections with higher reliability and lower latency compared to connections over the public Internet. This supports both Layer 2 Ethernet and Layer 3 IP connectivity options. This offers global reach with dedicated interconnect, allowing connections to multiple GCP regions. Cloud Interconnect enables high bandwidth, low latency communication between on-premises and GCP. This is suitable for enterprises with high-performance requirements or large data transfer needs. It provides predictable and consistent network performance. Google Cloud Interconnect provides different types of connectivity options to meet various performance, bandwidth, and use case requirements. Dedicated Interconnect provides a direct physical connection between your on-premises network and Google's network at a specific location. Partner Interconnect allows you to connect to Google's network using a supported service provider as an intermediary. Carrier peering allows you to peer your service provider's network directly with Google's network at specific peering locations. Thank you friends for watching this video. We from the Learning Light team congratulate you on completing this first lecture on VPC networking. In this series of lectures we went deep into various topics by making our hands dirty. So, please stick together with this series of lectures. Wish you all the best and good luck. Before leaving here, please do not forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel. We worked a lot to present you with such a thing. So, please encourage us by putting your comments in the comment section. If you have any doubt, please leave your concerns and we will reply with our best efforts. Have a nice day and see you in the next lecture.